Hello everyone, welcome to the third episode of KICHIEW.
KICHIEW.
Yeah, so hi, welcome back Jaden from your break last week.
Hello, how's everyone?
We're still alive.
Still
I
the
guess.
same old.
Yeah, still stuck in the CB.
CB really very CB
They also cannot extended the phase 1 thing.
Oh,
Now-
so what's the phase 1?
Phase 1, it's almost the same, it's just that more people can go back to work. Are you going back to work already?
Cannot go back to work what? Because
Still
for
cannot.
our job we need to meet people. But now that we can't go to coffee shop, we can't sit down. So
You only wait until phase 2.
or even phase 3.
Phase 2
Yeah, I guess so.
phase 1 minimum 4 months at that. Sorry, 4 weeks.
4 months. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I mean, whatever phase we are in right now, I just hope this situation recovers faster. So, not just meeting clients, I will feel like more like, go back to socializing with friends, families, cousins, whoever lah. Now it's just like, every day wake up doing the same old thing. Like really nothing to do. Nothing much to do lah.
Lost track of the time.
What's the first thing you want to do after this thing?
Go for a drink with friends.
Okay, buy the alcoholic. Okay, so last week we've been saying that we want to talk about some savings accounts this week, right? So what do we have on the plate this week?
For us today, we're going to talk about some of the savings accounts, from different banks, just like a general overview of it. Basically, we'll be talking about DBS Multiplier account, OCBC 360 account, and also UOB ONE account.
Okay, so I'll start with the DBS Multiplier account first. So I believe many of you all have seen the Rabbit account in cinemas or advertisements around. So this Rabbit account, right, actually, how does it work in the first place? It is majorly reliant on the number on your salary amount that you actually credit into the bank. But then, right, you see, a multiplier account actually gives you an interest of up to 3.8%. But what's more realistic to say, right, actually you're only getting 1.4 to 2.2%.
1.4. Or
What do you mean
how
by
do you derive
1.4 to 2.2?
Because there are many criteria to how this account actually works. So maybe I can show you how the tiering works also. So actually this account went through a revamp as of May 2020. So if you were to look at the first column of this graph, right, it indicates the total eligible transaction.
What do you mean by eligible transactions?
Total eligible transactions means the total amount that you actually gain or spend every month. So simply put, it's the summation of your salary, credit card expenditure, insurance, as well as investments that you have with the bank. To attain the preferential interest rates for the first 25K in your account, right, you actually do need to have met the income plus transactions in one of the following categories, being credit card, home loan, investments, or insurance. So the same goes to all the remaining 2 columns.
What if I don't hit the salary, criteria? Do I still get the same amount, or what is the amount that I'll be getting?
So if we are not hitting the salary criteria, right, actually salary is one of the crucial components in a multiplier account. So as long as you don't have salary, all your interest will be at 0.05%. So there will be no preferential interest. Multiplier account is not working out for you. But what is the minimum requirement to get these categories checked? So, okay, I can show you what are the 4 categories. Being credit card, you just need to spend a minimum of $1. And home loan. So home loan is any new and existing DBS home loan, which you can pay off with cash or CPF, as long as it's financed by the bank.
Okay, wait, for this part I got a question. Like, if you mentioned home loan, if I'm, like for me right now, I'm not a homeowner, so if I don't have home loan to go and take, then what happens?
Then you can meet the other categories, because there are 4 you just need to check 3 out of 4. So
Okay.
yeah, the other ones will be like investments and insurance as well. So for investments on its own, right, you can refer it to the monthly recurring investments that you're actually putting in with the bank or any treasury product.
But must be with DBS lah.
Must be signed with DBS, either your unit trust or your ETFs or whatever. But the cheapest option for this one, right, would be $100 a month into ETFs or any other smaller unit trust that you can contribute to lah. So this value can be treated as a monthly, I don't know, recurring forced savings that you put. So because investments wise, you also know it's easy to liquidate and everything. So yeah, $100 every month, no, you can actually check one of these criteria. So what's the last criteria? That will be insurance. But this is also the tricky one. So not all insurance are included under this category lah. So if you're talking about travel insurance and maybe some PA plan, these are not included for this category. So what is included for this category, right, will be endowment policies, life policies, and certain protection plans. So just now, like what Kevin mentioned, right, if you don't happen to have a home loan with DBS, then what else can you take up? So maybe you can consider taking up, like, I don't know, some endowment plans with them. So anyway, right, this one here is what most bankers don't tell you lah. If you're paying for a premium of next 5 to 10 years, right, you will only have the preferential interest for the next 12 months, which is 1 year lah. So
what you mean is every year I need to buy new insurance policy?
correct. So every year you need to buy a new insurance policy to actually check this criteria. Some may think it's worth it, some may think it's not nice. Up to your personal opinion. So is there a way to actually go about this 12-month restriction, right? There can be and there can also not be lah. So maybe you can drop us a message, see we're happy to share with you or not. By the way, right, these preferential interest rates will only be applicable to you or your if your monthly eligible transactions exceed 2,000. Otherwise, right, the interest still remains as a normal savings account. And
What do you mean by the
Mm.
spending 2,000 means every month I need to spend 2,000?
No, the eligible transactions 2,000, which means your
Salary plus spending.
Yeah, salary plus spending. But your salary must be credited to this account or any other DBS POSB account.
Okay, so if let's say I only hit the salary crediting part, what about the, then I don't meet the spending? Do I still get the preferential rate or?
Okay, because you need to get minimum one category. So one category will entitle you to the first 25,000 of preferential interest. So one category, the cheapest one will be just go get a credit card. Then you just need to spend $1 and then you'll be eligible for the interest rates already.
Okay.
But these interest rates, right, will only be applied to the maximum of 100,000. So if you have anything above 100,000, right, then it's also back to 0.05%.
So previously I created a multiplier account, but I haven't put any money inside. So is there
any fall below fee, is it? Don't have lah. As long as you are below 29 years old, then you are not in, there won't be any fall below fee for you. So once you hit 29, you keep minimum $3,000.
If not, the penalty fee will be $5 every month.
Every month, yeah.
Oh.
Bro, 1 year $60 already, that a lot of money.
More than your interest already, hello.
Yeah, might as well you go and put the money in now, start saving earlier, man.
你给我钱也可以。
That's not an option, better not do that. Yeah, so for me, next is actually this, we're going to talk about OCBC 360 account. Actually, generally, most of the features are the same. I would say the only difference is the numbers might differ from different banks. So for actually OCBC, right, the 360 account, you can earn bonus interest on your first 70,000. And this amount is up to 3.35% for every year, basically the first 70,000 only. Okay, basically for all this, the first 70,000, right, there are different criteria to hit also, like similar to the DBS multiplier account. So first thing is your salary. Second thing is your spending with credit cards, and also saving with them, and also insurance as well. Okay, for the first 70,000, right, basically it's further split into two parts. Your first 35,000 and your second 35,000. So how it works, first thing for salary wise, right, you need to actually have at least 1,008 of your salary credited into this OCBC 360 account. With that, actually your first 35,000 will get you an interest of 1.2%. Then if you have more than 35,000, which is your next 35,000, right, you will actually be able to incur another 2.4% interest. So that's how the salary crediting works for this account. Then the next thing is actually to spend for your credit cards. Basically, any credit cards you have with OCBC, personal credit cards, not company ones, you will need to spend minimum $500
every month
across all your cards. Yep, to get another extra interest of 0.2% for your first 35,000. And if you have more, the next 35,000 will be at 0.4%. Correct. So other than spending on credit cards, right? Okay, so some of you might be thinking like, what can I spend on credit cards? Same thing that you can spend on phone bills,
food, insurance, phone bills,
travel, whichever as long as you use the credit card for something, can already. And next thing is actually to save your money. Basically, banks, bank account. So what's the bank account for? To put money in, save there. So basically how you save, or how much they need you to save every month, is your daily average balance needs to increase by 500 from the previous month. So actually,
so every month I need to put 500 more.
In simple terms, yes. Basically the average for your whole month, if example, right, you have 500. Let's say from today, this month, you have 500, you create this account, you put $500 inside, right? These $500 cannot be touched. Even if you don't want to put more money in, right, the next month, the average will still be 500.
Okay.
Daily average balance compared to the balance of 500 is very different. That means on every day, as long as you spend money, right, the account needs to have 500 or more. If not, there will be an average of 500.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what if today at the start of the month I only have 200, but at the end of the month I have like 700, 800? Does it make up for the difference?
That depends, because how they calculate all this daily average. Basically, if you download this OCBC, the iBanking app, right, they will actually tell you what's your daily average, or they will include somewhere there.
Okay.
This daily average is basically your 30 or 31 days, right? You need to have at least 500 inside every day.
Every day,
End of the day, there must be a $500 there. At least, because that's how you get average of 500. Then so for how this works, right, basically you also get additional 0.2% for the first 35,000, and for the next 35,000 0.4%. So next is actually your wealth, meaning your wealth accumulation products, basically investments or insurance products with OCBC. How this works is same thing as the wealth multiplier account DBS multiplier account, right? Basically you need to have you need to invest or get insurance with OCBC bankers, or you can choose to go put in a lump sum if you like, single premium. If you have liquid cash that you're not using it, you can just throw in 20,000 for insurance, or unit trust, or even structured deposits. So all these are ways that you can invest or get insurance with the bank to increase your interest.
So for UOB ONE, which is comparison to both the DBS multiplier and the OCBC account, it gives you pretty decent interest as well. So all these all these have taken effect from 1st May 2020. So for the UOB ONE account, you can expect to receive up to 3.68% for the first 75,000 with a few requirements to meet. So the first requirement to meet is you must hit a minimum of $500. And second of all is to either credit your salary or to hit at least 3 debit transactions. For UOB ONE, there are certain cards that you can use to actually get these interests. So some of you might be wondering what are the different UOB ONE's cards. So they are the UOB ONE card, UOB Ladies card, UOB YOLO, UOB ONE Debit Master, UOB Debit Visa card, as well as the Mighty FX debit card. So these are 6 cards are the one whereby you can use to credit or to do your debit transactions to allow you to get the interest. So for the first 15,000, if you are able to hit the $500 minimum spending, you'll be able to get 0.5%. Likewise for the next 15,000 and the subsequent 15,000. However, if you're able to meet the credit card spend of $500 as well as to credit your salary or to make a 3 debit or credit transactions, for the first 15,000, you're able to receive 1.25%. I mean, sad to say that the interest rate has been revised already, but I mean, it's still better than nothing, right? For the next 15,000, if you're able to hit $500 on your card, as well as to credit your salary and 3 debit transactions, you're able to receive up to 1.35%. So this, so on and so forth, which can be shown on the chart. Okay, so like I said, if you're able to hit $75,000 in UOB ONE account, and you're able to hit the criteria as shown, as mentioned, you'll be able to receive an average of $112.25 interest per month, which adds up to about $1,003 a year. Not bad, right? I think that a lot of you viewers might be thinking, how come all the bank interest rates are actually dropping? So it's due to this whole COVID-19, that's why it took a hit on the bank. Therefore, all the bank's interest rate are actually dropping. But meaning to say, even though after the interest rate drop, is still better than what Kevin say, your regular savings account that's only giving you 0.05%.
Okay, so great guys. Now we'll help you do some comparisons within the 3
Yes.
bank accounts. So okay, so maybe we can start with the salary part.
Yeah, so actually for the salary crediting, right, for like I mentioned earlier, for OCBC, just for the salary crediting part is actually 1,008 per month through gyro. So actually for UOB and DBS, what's the figures like?
DBS is 2K.
So for UOB, you just need to make a minimum of $2,000 credit salary via gyro to your UOB ONE account.
Okay, so actually there's a difference in the sense that OCBC has a lower requirement, easier to hit I would say, compared to DBS and UOB, but it's just a $200 difference
But I think every individual only got 1 salary so they can only choose 1 bank account. Yeah, but I think if today you have more than 100,000 to put but you still only have 1 salary, how?
So I think the smart decision were to either credit your salary into DBS Multiplier or OCBC account. And for the UOB account, instead of meeting the requirement of crediting your salary, you can just make 3 debit transactions.
3 gyro transactions will be enough. So actually you can have 2 accounts also?
Yes, you can have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I guess so. So maybe we move on to what else there's to compare. Credit card spending, how much credit card spending you need for?
I think across all boards is 500, except for DBS, which is just $1, right?
It's just $1. So actually it's very achievable. 你去 7-Eleven 买一罐水都已经多少钱了。
Actually, I think to actually get this whatever percentage is out there for the 3 different banks, right? $500 a month is actually not too much. If you actually think about it, right? Phone bills, or even for people who are you own your own property, just paying the bills for your house, I think it's more or less take up half of the credit card spending already. Then maybe some drinkers out there like myself.
The alcoholic is talking now.
One night is all you need. One night is all it takes. So,
one night is all it takes.
Or once a week if you go to restaurant to eat and stuff.
Yep, go out with family or whatsoever.
哇，你 one bill 500块你吃很贵。
Once a week for 1 month.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So actually, I would say the credit card part is not too hard to get. Just that for credit card itself, let me take note of it. Don't anyhow use credit card. Then actually the next part will be the savings part. For the savings part, what is the numbers for both of the other accounts?
For UOB ONE is up to the first $75,000.
The maximum is $100,000.
Okay, and for OCBC is actually just 70,000 applicable to the first 70,000. So I guess across the board is also about the same 70, 75, and 100. So it's just a difference in tiering and the amount, the maximum amount that you can get basically. What about the investment insurance part? For DBS is
investments is recurring, but for the insurance wise, right, it's a 12-month only. I guess it's the same for UOB and OCBC.
Yeah, for OCBC is also for the first 12 months. So the minimum spending might be different for not spending, but more like the minimum amount for your insurance or investment.
Mine don't have. DBS don't have.
Oh, okay. For OCBC they have so we will leave the links in the description below for all 3 different bank accounts. You guys can go and take a look. Basically, whatever we have just mentioned is just the main features of the accounts and the requirements and how to go about getting and accumulating all these interests.
Check it out.
Yeah, and before we end off, right, like basically, I think the requirements to get into either one of the 3 accounts, right, basically it's quite simple. You just need to be 18 years old. You need to be Singaporean or PR, show your NRIC. If you're a foreigner or a student on visa or whatsoever, you need to prove your identification, like passport, student visa, whatsoever. And the last but not least is actually your proof of residential address, either phone bill or utility bills or anything that proves that you stay in a certain place. Your address basically. Then I think also for the deposit requirements, all the banks have it, right? Because for DBS and UOB.
Minimum balance, is it?
No, as in the deposit requirement. Do they have any deposit requirements? Like initially when you go and open an account, or don't have?
Don't have.
You just need to maintain the minimum balance, which is 3,000, right? I believe for you guys as well.
For UOB,
no.
the average balance of $1,000. If not, there will be a $5 penalty fee every month.
Okay, but for OCBC OCBC actually requires a minimum initial deposit of $1,000 So to open this account, then same thing. The minimum average balance has to be 3,000 a month. Then if not met, then there will be a $2 penalty. That's more or less about all these 3 accounts. I'm sure that there are many other accounts out there. These are just the 3 main ones that we will be sharing for this episode.
So if you'd like to know about the other bank accounts, you can also drop us a comment at the bottom, or give us a message. We will share with you more if we see there is a requirement. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching episode 3. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.